Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I want to do a quick review of this little guy. This is the Olight Universal Magnetic USB Battery Charger, and the basic idea here is that you plug this guy into a USB outlet, whether it's a little power brick like you get with your phone, or into your computer, and then to charge a battery, you just use the magnetic ends of this guy and plug them onto a battery, and it will do the charging for you. That's a brilliant idea, and because it's magnetic, it works with all kinds of different sizes. The moment my buddy Jim, pardon me, mentioned that this exists to me, he was like, holy crap, I'm buying one of these. Because it's brilliant. I'm glad they finally did it. And you can get these guys for about $10, whether from Olight directly or through other stores like Illumination Gear or even Amazon. Although they're a little hit and miss on Amazon. If I can find one, I'll put a link there down below. So anyways, because this is a simple little thing, I'm just going to talk about the good and the bad here. There's no serious ugly. So on the good side, this is very, very, very lightweight. I mean, it's absurdly light relative to some of your bigger chargers, like one of these guys here. I'll see if I can get this on the scale, but parts of it are going to hang off here. Looks to be less than an ounce, basically. This is not a heavy sort of thing, and it's also very small. I mean, compared this, size comparison, here's your Spyderco Delica. For size tradition, as always, at 18650, a CR123. You can use this to charge a variety of different batteries, and it's not much bigger than the batteries themselves that you're charging. Speaking of which, the versatility on this is beautiful. It'll do most of your lithium-ion sorts of batteries just by clipping onto the ends of them there. So 18650s, no problem. CR123s, no problem. AA's, 14500s. Any of those basically will work, no problem. But in addition to that, sorry about that, you also get yourself a charger that'll work with your nickel metal hydride and your Eneloop sorts of batteries, which again is just spectacular. That means that pretty much any battery that's rechargeable that you take with you, for instance, on a trip, this little guy is going to be able to charge, and I just like that very much. Because it's got these little rings on there, it works with both flat top sorts of batteries as well as button top batteries, which is nice. It's a nice little thing. It also detects polarity, which means it's relatively idiot resistant. All you do is make sure that one of these is on one side, the other's on the other side, and it'll figure out which side is which and charge accordingly. It's also, like I said, very, very, very small. I mean, compared to an actual 18650 battery, this is way, way smaller. And then finally, on the good side, the USB port is standard, and it's available damn near everywhere, which honestly I appreciate very much. It's nice that I'm not using a proprietary cord, or there's not a separate power brick for it. You just throw this guy in your suitcase or in your backpack, and wherever you are, as long as you can charge your phone, you can also charge up whatever battery you're carrying, say, in your pocket light here, which is just very, very nice. On the bad side, a couple of little issues. It's relatively easy to dislodge. To give you a sense here, I'll use this 18650 battery. You can actually, it's got enough grip that you can kind of hang a battery from it, but at the same time, it's relatively easy for the thing to come off, and if it does, or more usually to get kind of scraped off to the side so it's no longer contacting, and when that happens, charging stops. Not the end of the world, but, this isn't something you can just kind of throw on the bed and let charge and bounce around with. Although, if you're charging batteries on your bed while you're bouncing around in it, well, you got a different life than I do, let's just put it that way. It's also one cell at a time, so you can only charge one battery at any given go. For most people, that's not going to be a problem, but if you're using a big 3x 18650 light, the slow charging rate combined with one at a time is going to be a little bit frustrating. So do keep that in mind. It doesn't really provide a lot of feedback on the charging process. It's got a little LED that turns this little collar here from green to red, depending on the charging status, but it doesn't give you like 75%, 80%, anything like that, in the same way that your more conventional chargers might show you the charging current, the current, that sort of thing. And probably the biggest issue with this is that it charges way more slowly than a dedicated charger along these lines. To give you a sense, this guy can charge at 1 amp, and this isn't even one of the faster chargers in the market. But this guy only charges at 0.75 amps, which is going to make it slower, especially on your large capacity batteries, like an 18650 here. You may well be looking at an overnight charge for this. But the thing is, that's okay. chances are you're going to plug it in the evening and then put the fresh battery in the morning. It's not a big deal. And so on the whole, this is a really, really good idea, and it's a really excellent travel charger. I often will bring a little light like this guy on a trip. This is the TAC D25A. I think it's my very favorite EDC light these days. And, you know, the one disadvantage to it is that unfortunately, it doesn't have any kind of USB recharge sort of capability. So if you use the light past a certain amount, you need to carry extra batteries, or you need to use AA's, which, well, they got their own issues. But if I just throw this guy into my pack or into my luggage when I'm traveling, if I use my light a fair amount during a given day, I can just charge it overnight and then the next morning pull it off. No freaking problem. So it's small, it's easy, it's lightweight, it uses the same adapters I've already got with me, and most importantly, it's $9. So you can't really argue with that. On the whole, this is a great little idea here, and it's a great little implementation of that idea. I'm really glad that I picked one of these up, and I really do recommend for the flashlight geek in your life that you consider having one of these guys around too. Because it's tiny enough that it's always going to be there for you, and you never know when you might need it, especially when traveling. Hope this has been interesting. Great gift idea, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.